Linda's Pantry. So tonight I'm gonna make a delicious potato leek soup with leeks from my garden. The leeks are still thriving out there. They didn't get, you know, big like you see in the grocery store. They got about an inch in diameter, which is perfectly fine. They taste amazing. They're very tender and they're still holding on. Even though we've had a couple of frost, it's been, you know, 32, 31, 30. We haven't had hard, you know, 20-degree temperatures, which is very uncommon for up here. So I picked a few last night and I washed them and cut them and got them all rinsed. And so I'm ready to make the soup. I had some potatoes I need to use and some bacon, onion, and garlic. Super simple. A little bit of chicken stock and a little bit of white wine, as well as some herbs to Provence. So let's go over to the stove. I'll get you started and we're gonna have this delectable soup for this cold, brisk season. It is cold outside. Baby, it's cold outside. Let's go make some soup. Okay, so here we have, I've got bacon that I literally cut into lardons. Just chopped it up a little bit. You don't even have to do that. You can fry the bacon ahead and make it nice and crispy, and you're good to go at the end. So we're just gonna let it break up. As it heats up, it'll break apart. We'll get this bacon all crisp off. I don't want all the fat that's in here, so I'll probably take some of it out, and then we'll get to the next step. But you have to have crispy bacon in your potato leek soup, in my opinion. And this is one of the easiest, most economical soups you can make. Literally, if you bought leeks in the store, and then generally you get 3 giant ones for $2 or $3, a half a package of bacon, because that's about a half a pound of bacon, so that's another $1.50, or, you know, if you get it on sale. And then you know, probably 3 pounds of potatoes. You're looking at another $1 and some garlic and seasoning and some chicken stock. It's a pretty inexpensive meal. So let's get cooking. Okay, so I've rendered the fat. This bacon is nice and crispy. See how they just shrink up into these little bite-sized niblets? And I took out probably 3 tablespoons of the rendered fat. I left in the rest, and now we're ready to go because I want to make sure that my onions get sauteed. You have to layer this, but even though it's so simple and such a peasant meal, it's delicious. So there's the garlic and the onions, and the leeks are going in next because they get sauteed as well, and every little bit is just changing and layering everything. So these are all leeks from my garden bed, and you guys, if you followed me, you followed, you know, that I had that little raised bed that just produced a huge amount of leeks. So that's awesome. Onions and leeks and garlic, you know, all of them have such a different flavor and bring something else to the party. This makes a big pot of soup for very little money. So I'm going to saute these for a minute. When the onions become translucent and I can smell that garlic, I'm going to add my chicken stock. I've got a quart of chicken stock and about maybe half a cup, maybe close to a cup of white wine. That's totally up to you. If you don't want that, don't do it. It's going to cook off all the alcohol by the time this is done. So there you go. And we need to add some seasoning. So herbs to Provence. Let's wake it up a bit. Half a teaspoon, maybe 3/4 of a teaspoon of herbs to Provence. So that's got lavender and thyme. It's got such good flavors in there that all lend well to bacon and potatoes and okay, yum. So before I add anything else, I'm going to add some lemon pepper. That lemon rind, dried lemon rind, brings And I get this from Trader Joe's. It just brightens the whole thing up. You gotta have it. So there you go. We're gonna add our potatoes. What? Yes. Potatoes. I've got red potatoes and a couple of russets. Nice. We're gonna add our wine. Woo! Yum. And now last but not least, I'm gonna add my chicken stock. And I added a little bit more bouillon to this, so if you see anything, that's what it is. Just because I don't add a whole lot to my homemade chicken stock. Oh, look at that. We're gonna bring this up to the simmer. I'm gonna do a taste test when it gets a little further in, and we'll make sure we have all the flavor profile going on. I like to have some texture to my potato leek soup, so I don't puree it down, but I do mash it down. But having the red potatoes add some color. It's gonna be delicious, guys. All right, I'll be back when it's ready to do a little mashing. And let me just tell you, this 6-quart Tupperware stock pot is amazing. I love it. I have enjoyed this so much because I can go right from my stovetop into the oven. All right, we'll be back. All right, guys, it's almost up to a good simmer, and I'm gonna add in my last ingredient, and that is celery. You guys know I like celery. If you don't like celery, don't put it in there. It's fine without it, but I was like, oh, I think I need some. And I have some in the fridge that I need to use up. And if I didn't have any after that craving, I would have added Thrive celery because it's delicious. So celery, onion, garlic. I mean, these are simple ingredients that you'll have any time of the year in your house in the refrigerator. So we've got about 4.5 quarts of soup going right now. So we're gonna leave it at that. It smells amazing. I'm gonna bring you back, I promise, when I'm ready to kind of mash this down a little bit and thicken it up. It's gonna be good. Okay, guys, so I've taken my Tupperware potato masher and I've kind of mashed a little bit. I want some texture in here, so I'm not going to puree it with my immersion blender, but I did get in there and smash some potatoes for sure. Okay, love that little item. Just saying. Now in this quarter cup measuring cup, I have 2 heaping tablespoons of cornstarch and some evaporated milk. So we're going to add that whole can of evaporated milk. It's going to make it creamy and delicious. It's shelf stable. I don't keep milk in the house, so this is the only way I add some kind of, sometimes I have heavy cream or something like that, or buttermilk, but you want this creamy and delicious. And it's gonna thicken up a little bit and be absolutely decadent. So let me dish up a little bowl and I'll give you a taste test, and we're gonna let this come back up to a boil and give it some body. It's not gonna make it thick like stew, but it's gonna give it a little bit of body, that cornstarch, and oh, so yummy. Okay, let's get a bite and we'll end the video. All right, that's how easy it is to make a delicious pot of soup for pennies on the dollar. Okay guys, I just garnished this with a little bit of fresh parsley, and for the photos I'm gonna grab some bacon, some potatoes, celery, and leeks. And let me just tell you, it smells so incredible in here, and it makes a hearty pot of soup that'll tide you over for several meals. For me, way too many. Okay, I'm sharing. Oh it's gonna be hot. So it's creamy without being too thick and starchy. It's delicious. The bacon comes through, the leeks, the onions, the garlic, everything comes through and gives this soup such a wonderful flavor. And I can taste the lemon pepper and the herbes de Provence. It's fantastic. People, make this. Make this for your family. Yum. All right, guys, I'll see you next time for another delicious recipe. This is a winter favorite. Hopefully you guys make it for yourself and you come back next time and let me know what you think about it. If you've made this before, if you do a different twist on it, leave us a comment and show us in the comment section below so everybody can learn from this. All right, guys, I hope you subscribe. I hope you come back next time for another delicious recipe and or anything else I'm doing on Linda's Pantry. All right, bye.